Splatoon 3 has been out for a while now, and I've been wondering which weapons do players gravitate towards the most. To get an accurate view of all the game modes, I'm still waiting for statistics to release about anarchy battles, so I narrowed down the category to turf wars for the moment. In Splatoon 2, the most popular weapon by quite a lot was the NZAP-89, thanks to its painting power, good fire rate, and most importantly, its extremely annoying kit with the Oda bomb and the Tenta missiles. Thank God that is not back. In Splatoon 3, Tenta missiles have been mostly given to weapons that are not as comfortable to play, or rather niche when it comes to the big picture, and instead the weapons I see in every single turf war, no, I see at least two of them in almost every single turf war, is the Aerospray. I'll be very interested how this goes on as we get more and more accurate statistics, but I'm just generally really surprised by the popularity of this weapon for multiple reasons. The Aerospray isn't considered a great shooter by any means. It has really short range, its accuracy is abysmal, and it really isn't dealing good damage. But one thing it's really good at is painting. It's pretty much the best painter, only behind the Reflux, which has the Tenta missiles but way more uncomfortable to play as. Its kit is decent in my opinion. It has Fizzy Bomb, which is a really nice zoning sub-weapon it can harass with at long range, but the Reef Slider in general isn't the best for it since it's easy to dodge and the Aerospray's range is actually shorter than the Reef Slider's range, so if someone dodged you, you're pretty much splatted. So I was thinking, what could be the reason that this weapon is then dominating turf wars that much, since it can't be just the painting. There are a lot of weapons with similar painting that are far better in overall performance, and so the charm of the Aerospray can be only one thing I could think of. It's ease of use. The one thing the Aerospray really excels at is the same thing why I sometimes like to play with the Clash Blaster as my guilty pleasure, and that they are weapons that are really easy to use and you can basically turn your brain off and have a pretty good time with Splatoon without trying too hard. If you think about it, the Aerospray has a massive crosshair spreading its shots all over the place, so you really only have to aim roughly into the direction of your opponent, and as long as your movement is solid, you get closer and closer and more of your ink will land on them. Turf War isn't the sweatiest mode for sure, and we tend to forget that the large majority of video games is still the leisurely, non-competitive player playing for fun. Meaning in most matches you really won't face opponents who have perfect aim, but instead will shoot all around you. I'm still there quite often to myself, so the charm of playing a weapon where that can't really happen, and in fact it's rather an advantage in that kind of environment that you don't have to aim versus your opponent having to, is quite nice. That's why so many hate playing against the Clash Blaster to a degree, a weapon that's overall not really impressive since all you need to counter it is aim. But since that's not something we all have mastered to 100%, these weapons do have their own advantages until a certain rank. Next to the Aerospray being an overall easy weapon to start playing with, its painting power is excellent, boosts your points a lot, and having a lot of points is satisfying, but also it charges up your special in no time. The Reef Slider isn't exactly the best special, it's predictable and easy to punish, but it's once again something that I think the closer you are to the average rank, or lower even, the more powerful it gets. If you think about it, one of the key aspects that differentiates a more competitive and experienced player from a casual player is conscious thinking during the game and knowing what to do in every situation, or acting with purpose. What Reef Slider does on the other hand is rushing straight into your face from nowhere and potentially causing panic, more mistakes, and usually a splat. So in essence, Reef Slider is a great panic button when you don't know what to do, but it's also a great special to cause panic for the unexpected opponent that will most likely not know how to react to it properly, and cause them to make more mistakes, which will reduce their accuracy and so on and so forth, giving advantage to the Aerospray. I think this will change over time of course as players get more experienced, but I do see this in almost every turf war game that Reef Slider, as much as it's not that effective, still has a great success rate as the big red button to splat your opponent when you're out of options, and most of the time, it works. I still have the moments when I know I'm in control of a duel with someone, but that unexpected Reef Slider throws me off my game, and I make some dumb mistake and I just blame it on the Reef Slider. So all in all then, why do I think the Aerospray is such a popular weapon right now? It's just really easy to pick up and its kit synergizes well with itself up to a degree, even though it really doesn't. Since the Reef Slider isn't a good special for the Aerospray, but as we discussed in lower ranks it does fill the gap of giving more aggression to the weapon itself that it would lack against experienced players in higher ranks. So as long as you master the fast playstyle of the Aerospray, pushing and painting as much as you can and flank your opponents, which is usually quite a lot easier in Turf War where it's all about chaos with randoms, The Aerospray can be this unstoppable painting machine with an instant splatting re-slider button that never has to stop, and literally fully embraces the spray and pray mentality of mindless fun in a shooting game. So what do you think is the most played weapon right now in Splatoon, or do you agree it's the Aerospray? Well, let me know in the comments, and I'd also love to hear what you think of the Aerospray overall, and what makes it a really popular choice for players right now. Thank you for tuning in for another talk, and check out the rest of my channel for some more Splatoon content. But I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.